This is Henry from New York, and I listen to the E.I.T.H.R podcast with my homie Decal.
You're listening to the E.I.T.H.R podcast with your host, Decal.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It's your boy Decal, the E.I.T.H.R podcast, episode number 104. How's everyone doing out there in podcast land? I want to give a shout out to all the new listeners. I want to give a welcome back to all the return people. We got some new ears in Nevada. What's up, Reno? How you doing, Sparks, Carson City? Thank you very much, Las Vegas. I want to give a shout out also to some new people in Pleasanton, Dublin, San Ramon, Morgan Hill. Thank you very much. We have some new people right there in Buckhead, Georgia. How you doing? Nice to meet you guys. And everywhere in between, from Sin City to Cincinnati, Canada, New Zealand, Tokyo, Germany. Welcome to the E.I.T.H.R podcast, the elephant in the room, where we discuss issues and topics that are difficult for people to have amongst their peers and friends, because many people tend to be short-sighted and they only want to listen to their perspective because they are the ones who are right, and then if you don't agree with them, you're wrong. Okay, cool. Yeah, the E.I.T.H.R podcast, we try to look at everything from a non-biased, devil's advocate perspective, if you will. So that way you don't get just one perspective, you get a multitude of perspectives. Even if you end up not agreeing with what you hear in the podcast, when you finish listening to the episode, at least you'll have an informed opinion where you can sit back and say, I still disagree with that. However, I see it from a different light. To those of you who are new, we'll give you a rundown of how the podcast works. We usually start off with a shout out. We do an inspirational, motivational, because we like to begin the podcast with something encouraging. Because let's face it, in today's world, there's so much shit going on that may drag you down. It's nice to get some words of encouragement, even if it's this late in your evening, early in your morning, or whenever you're listening to the podcast. So the first thing we're going to do is give a shout out to everybody in the city of Davis, California. And we're going to get into why I'm giving the city of Davis a shout out. But I want to make sure I shout them out, because they definitely need some encouragement. We also may need some prayers. We're going to talk about that in a couple of moments. But inspirational, motivational, I feel that everybody can relate to this. And here we go. My mentor once said, if you have to talk to more than 3 people about the same problem, you don't want help. You simply want attention. I know myself as an individual, there have been times where I wanted to play the victim and get the attention because, let's just face it, you kind of feel lonely. You just want to feel important, even if it's in a sense of complaining, griping, belly aching, bitching, moaning, whatever the case may be. And like I said, we all know someone who does that still to this day. Some people don't want the help. Matter of fact, when you give them a solution, in most cases, they kind of roll your eyes. Like, oh, I don't want to fix it. I just want everyone to pity me. That's cute. But the problem with some of those folks is they never get over themselves. So that type of energy can suck the positivity out of somebody, especially if they know people in their circle or people pleasers, because they know you're going to cater to them hand and foot to make sure they get everything they need from you to make them feel on a pedestal. So I want to go ahead and give you guys that word of encouragement. So we're going to get into this thing in a couple of seconds. It's your boy D-Cal here at E.I.T.H.R Podcast. You can follow us on social media, Instagram and Twitter. The handle is going to be the same, E.I.T.H.R. You can also follow our TikTok under the parent company, the GNS Inc. We're going to be right back from one of our sponsors and get right into the podcast. What up, everybody? It's your boy D-Cal, host of the E.I.T.H.R Podcast. Listen, are you trying to promote your brand? Whether it is your podcast, whether it's your jewelry, whether it's a music, whatever the case may possibly be. Listen, business cards are a thing of the past now. Okay? What you want to do is you want to go ahead and get yourself a follower. Okay? It's really, really simple. Give your market a more direct, instant connection to your brand. Simply tap and connect, just like that. Next time you're having a conversation with somebody, instead of them having to enter in your phone number and name, you take your popper, you tap their phone, and your information is digitally transferred to their device. Whether it's your Instagram, your Facebook, your storefront, it doesn't matter. Listen, go to the E.I.T.H.R Instagram page, find the highlight, get the promo code, save when you purchase. Let's get it poppin'. Boy D-Cal back at the E.I.T.H.R Podcast. You can find us on Spreaker. You can find us on E.I.T.H.R. You can also listen to the podcast on Spotify or anywhere else that you happen to get your podcast. The Poplar thing is actually pretty dope. I have the wristband, so whenever I'm out with somebody, we happen to have a discussion about Mile, which is one of the other sponsors for the podcast. You know, where to get your shirt, or where can I get those pants, or whatever the case is. I just pull my wrist up, kind of like a Rolex, but it's not a Rolex. It's just a rubbery wristband and it's popping in it. But the technology is pretty dope. And you just touch your wristband, the top of your wristband, to their phone, and your information is digitally sent automatically to their mobile device. Simple as that. It's pretty convenient. And I'm surprised how many people out there don't know about it. And a buddy of mine who has Warriors Martial Arts in Elk Grove, California, he has a couple of the pop-up accessories to help promote his martial arts school. So shout out to Adam, Shunshifu Smith, shout out to Sheeple Holmes, my brother, out there doing their thing, making the world a safer place. One snap kick, one soft hand, one grappling at a time. So, and earlier we gave a shout out to the city of Davis, California. Here's the reason why we're giving a shout out to Davis, California. We need everyone out there to be careful. They need your thoughts and your prayers out there, because apparently, allegedly, supposedly, they have deemed there's a serial killer in the city of Davis, California. Right, small town, college town, just west of Sacramento on Highway 80. And what this person is doing is he's stabbing women. So it seems as if he has a particular type of woman that this person is targeting. Apparently the first two victims that he attacked, unfortunately, they died. The third victim that so far has been reported was a homeless woman, and he stabbed her through her tent, and she's in critical condition. Great chance that she'll survive physically, but they don't really know anymore about what he looks like. They have an idea of what he looks like, and a general idea of possibly where he might reside. But apparently the FBI is getting involved with this. The city of Davis is, from what I've been told and what I've heard, the city of Davis is shutting the town down around like 8 o'clock p.m. So, you know, unfortunately, this is the world we're living in. Ladies, if you are in Davis, whether you reside there, go to school there, visiting there, stopping there for the night, passing by, be cautious, be careful, mind your surroundings. You want to make sure you're with somebody, you know, 2s, maybe 3, until this situation gets taken care of, which they don't have a motive of why or why. Hopefully they'll figure this shit out. Hopefully they'll catch this person and, you know, basically get taken care of. But it's sad, it's dangerous, it's unnecessary. So make sure the city of Davis, California, for you guys is, you know, if you believe in that kind of thing, you know, in your thoughts and your prayers. If you don't believe in that thing, just, you know, some wishful thinking, right? So, it's unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. There was also a surprise, another mass shooting. And, look, man, this shit's almost becoming weekly, where someone's mad at somebody, so they're going to take it out on somebody else. You know what I mean? And I don't think that way, so it's hard for me to have any type of emotion for, you know, rehabilitating. But again, we don't know the situation. This person, you know, this is kind of becoming a thing for people who happen to, you know, take the lives of a large group of people or a small group of people. But maybe this individual has mental illness, a mental condition that needs to be medicated, needs to be evaluated. Who knows? But it's not cute. It's not cute, and it's unfortunate, you know. So I guess the lesson in this is, listen, man. I mean, everybody, be safe out there. Be mindful of your surroundings. And that kind of goes into the story that I wanted to avoid, but it ties into minding your surroundings. When you see something that you believe to be foul, do something about it. So there's a video of, as I was reading E.I.T.H.R today, I guess this gentleman was a United States Marine, and he choked out a homeless man who was, you know, being very absurdly loud about how he doesn't have any food. He can teach him nothing to drink. I understand someone's upset. They're yelling. The homeless dude gets on your nerves. Like I said, but everyone's wound up tight. Everybody's wound up tight. Everybody's walking around on broken glass and eggshells. Everyone is just in a mood. You got somebody yelling in your face, and you got your own problem with it. captain said he's a United States Marine. He was choking the homeless man, like rear naked choke. And there were two other individuals kicking, it appears, the homeless man, and holding his arms as he's attempting to fight or evade or escape from being choked. So they're kind of restraining him. And this man was choking him for about 15 minutes, according to the video. Huh? Oh yeah, he died. Right there on the subway. Authorities apparently came, took the man into custody. Of course, he was released upon further investigation. Listen. I don't want to get into this shit because there's a whole can of worms. I don't think anybody really wants to get into it. But when I said be mindful of your environment and your surroundings, and when you see something wrong, do something about it. You had a man getting choked out on the train. Clearly losing consciousness. And what people did was they elected to stand and watch, sit and watch, record from their phone this man losing his life. That's the world we live in. Someone is losing his life. I could get involved. I could jump in the middle of this and stop it. But I gotta get this on my Facebook Live. I gotta get this on my IG. They even still have it. I gotta upload this to World Star. Is that still around? Instead of helping someone, you watched him be murdered. So if you see someone being attacked in a park, are y'all going to help? Or are y'all going to, hey, it's none of my business? I can tell you right now, there's people on both sides of the aisle listening to this podcast. What would you do? I know what I would do. I know what I would do. I'm not going to say what I would do is right. I'm not going to say what I would do is wrong. But I would do something. Right? And so, that's the world we live in, Chief. It's, oh, man. What is wrong with people? Here's how I see it, man. I try to look at it from the perspective, if that was your son, if that was your daughter, if that was your sister, if that was your brother, if that was your spouse, if that was your parent, what would you do? Right? And I get it. If it ain't your brother, sister, mom, or father, I get that. But that's somebody's father, son, brother, mother, daughter, sister. One of my biggest issues, one of my biggest concerns, one of my biggest thoughts is seeing a situation go down, ignoring it, be like, I'm good, mind my business, stay on my path. I ain't gonna take that exit. I don't need that traffic, right? And then come to find out that person who is being attacked is a relative or kin of someone that I personally know, right? Could you imagine you see someone in a situation who clearly needs some help, some assistance, and you kind of just mind your own business? only to find out that's one of your friends' cousins they grew up with. That's one of your friends' uncle who was coming to visit them. Auntie who went to the store to get them something, and that happened. And you walk into the house, you walk into the room, you walk into the conversation, knowing damn well, now I get it, that could also be somebody's karma coming back to bite them. And that's what's make this thing so frustrating. On what would you do? Would you do the right thing? Or would you do nothing? I can tell you right now that the city of Davis right now, they're doing something. And hopefully everybody would do the right thing. Because I'm banking these 3 people are in their city. They got harmed because everyone did nothing. What would you do in this situation? So the next thing I want to talk about in the podcast is, AI is getting wild, y'all. I know. We all kind of, we have this understanding, we have this belief, we have this acceptance that artificial intelligence it's here to stay, and it's coming. More of it's coming. But so apparently there's a thing where someone created this song that was done by Drake and The Weeknd. But the problem was, it wasn't Drake and it wasn't The Weeknd. What it was an AI creation of them performing a song. And it got a lot of attention, but word got back to the artist that it wasn't them. So now you have this conundrum in the world, because of course, you have copyright and things of that nature with music and artists. But I think the sticky part is this song wasn't one of their songs. It was kind of a song that was generated by somebody else using the apps and filters and technology that's out right now. There was also another situation where it happened to a celebrity where they were doing that. I saw a video on social media, man, where a guy, he would write us like a 16 bar verse, and he kind of would write it in the style of certain artists, and he would rap that verse. Cool. But then he used whatever app it was, I don't remember the app, and he'll put in that artist's name. And I remember Kanye West was one of them. And it literally sounded as if Kanye West was rapping the song. Now, because you watched the video, you knew what he was doing, you also could hear, okay, I know that's not Kanye, but damn, it sounds like Kanye. But if someone didn't see the beginning of the video of him showing you what he can do, you literally would have thought it's Kanye West. So here's where it's getting a little wild here's where it could get a little wild, in my opinion. You can now artificially create the voice of celebrities. I'm sure not all of them, but a good portion of these celebrities. You could do that to where they're endorsing a product, they're endorsing a service, they're giving a shout out. I understand that back and enjoy and ha ha he he ho ho at it. I 100% get that. But where it gets tricky, ladies and gentlemen, is when the artist, him or herself, is against that. Because how would you be able to differentiate the two? Right? It's almost like cloning. It's not exactly, but just follow the analogy. It's almost like cloning their social media account and saying it's them. Right? That's in theory, that's what it's kind of like. And I think the foul part about it is the artist may not know. And again, legally, what ground do you have impersonating something? I mean, is it illegal to impersonate somebody digitally? Is there laws even set for that? Because that's a world we're entering that we've never explored before. And I think it's very, to me, it raises eyebrows. It definitely raises an eyebrow. Because if you can get a voice of a celebrity that you know is influential, that could help a small business in an unethical way. There was another video where, what is it? Chat. I just did an episode about this too. The new chat. I can't think of the name of it. AI, the most advanced version of the AI that's out right now. There's a video of a woman where you clearly can see it's a program, but damn it, it's like 70-80% authentically genuine, to where it's like you couldn't tell if you weren't really up on game. Like, it might take you a minute to realize, and by the time you realize it, it's like, oh wow, we're so deep to the conversation that this person is having a conversation with this program. And again, you can tell it's a program, but it's so damn realistic-esque compared to what it was 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 2 years ago. And the response to the questions, there was 2 questions that they asked the program, and you can see like the head moving, like it's processing, so it's trying to get all the information, and that's kind of where it lets you know, like, this isn't real. But the conversation was so quick, like 2 people actually speaking on some shit. We're getting to the point of, I'm telling you guys, Tony Stark and Jarvis, it's becoming a thing, right? Where you have the Jetsons, that's kind of becoming, that's where we are now. iRobot, hey, we're damn near there, y'all. Seriously. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What I'm saying is, it's kind of a, oh shit, thing. Humans are trash. So anything that's good, well, and productive, you can believe human beings were going to find some way to screw it up. Because that's just what we do. We can't let anything be good, designed to be good, meant to be good. We have to put bad seeds in it so it grows bad weeds to it, so the whole garden can get tainted. That's just, that keeps the people going, right? Keeps the blood flowing, keeps us feeling young, I guess. On another topic, listen to the radio, and scientists possibly have found a fountain of youth. What I mean by that, and a very oversimplified explanation by me, what they're doing is they've taken cells they did an experiment on 2 mice. And what they did was they took the cells from the 2 mice and they basically split the cells, right? And they were able to reverse it to where the cells constantly repairing itself. And so therefore the cells would constantly repair themselves. Because we get older because cells die. Right? It just what lives, it moves on, it dies. But they were able to do that. So one mouse looked, I didn't see the video. I'm kind of just listening to the conversation. But according to the host, one mouse looked about, it was an exaggeration. But several years, like 7, 8, 10 years younger than the older mouse. So they're thinking possibly they can get humans, the goal, to live past 100 years old. That's what they're thinking. So the theory is, if the average human, is living 75, 80 years old, okay, tack on another 80 or so years. But in the time, you're going to look younger than your age. Now, I know. I get it. Imagine being 160 years old. First of all, that'd be dope as shit. I don't care what no one says. To live 160, that'd be dope. Now, what will I look like at 160? I mean, for those of us who've seen the movie Beetlejuice, am I going to look like the husband when he's trying to say Beetlejuice's name and his jaw falls off? If that's the case, y'all can keep all that. You can keep that. But if your boy's 160, and at 160, I'm kind of looking Morgan Freeman-ish, I'd take that. Diddy, take that. I would. Ladies, if you could live to be 150, now, no one's saying you're going to look like Mother Teresa. But imagine if you are 150 years old and you're looking a little bit like Meryl Streep. Would you take that? At 150 years old, bruh, that is phenomenal. If I can look and genetically, if I could be 150, 160 years old and feel I'm 100 years younger, that's dope. No, I'm going to say this because I feel like they probably are already testing that on some people. The public, we just don't know about it. That's my theory. Because if you get somebody who tested on mice, and you got one mouse looking like he's 50 and the other mouse looking like he's 22, there's somebody with money, we know the elitists, who are sitting back saying, do that on me right now. Right? They don't want to wait. They see the result, they want it right now. Impulsive buyer. Part of me feels that's kind of what the deal is. The shit is out. We just do not know about it just yet. But I like that idea, though. Imagine another 100. First of all, the way society is going, I get it. Who really wants to see this shit? But the fact that I can live another 100 years, I think that will be cool, man. Right? Like all the knowledge one would have, especially if you could live that long and still be able to function, if it's even a word, youthfully enough to still be able to take care of yourself. Mentally, you're still there. You're still right in the head. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a good thing. Now, you know damn well they're going to charge you up the yin-yang for something like that. Would you pay for it? Right? Would you buy it? Is that something that you would invest in? If you won the lottery. Yo, if I won the lottery, I want that shit twice. I want it to be 200. Let's do it. I think that'd be kind of cool. It's kind of like in The Green Mile, where Tom Hanks' character. Because I also see that as a curse. Like if you had that and your people around you did not have that, your gift is to live longer than anybody, but your curse would, you have to see them die. And anyone after them, you have to see them die too. So, damn, that kind of went morbid. That went dark real quick. Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to do that. I was just talking out loud, and that came out. Oops. All right, cool. So we're going to change the subject a little bit, kind of brighten the mood at the E.I.T.H.R podcast. Your boy D-Cal here at the GNS HQ for episode 104. Make sure you follow us on the social media. Twitter and Instagram is the same. It's E.I.T.H.R, the E.I.T.H.R. You can also follow our parent company on TikTok, GNS INC. And don't forget to subscribe to our TV channel, GNSETV.com. It's a free subscription. Costs you nothing. But check that out. And so, I've talked to a few people who've been watching the live feed. And so, on the channel, for those who are new to that, new to hearing about it, it's my own Netflix meets YouTube-esque type of TV streaming channel where I control the content. So if you have the next playlist I'm going to be working on actually is a playlist for artists, not just musicians, excuse me, I had a hiccup. Not just musicians, but for people who do painting, people who do drawing, people who do sketching, people who do acting, writing, whatever it is. I got this channel to basically have a platform for people to do. Now, again, I understand that people can have their own YouTube pages. I get all that. It makes sense. But the difference is this is a platform for all of you to be together. Not only that, but it's a streaming channel where multiple people are going to be able to watch this from their home because of Roku. You see what I'm saying? So this is going to be also going to people's houses, and this is a TV channel to where when we get up to 20,000 subscribers, sponsors are going to come, which then the money that I make gets redirected back into the channel for advertising, so on and so forth, which is more eyeballs on your service, your product, or whatever it is that you got going on this TV channel. And from people who I know in the entertainment business, there's a lot of loops, a lot of hoops and rings you gotta jump through to get your shit put on a TV channel, to get played. There's a lot of politics going on in that world, and I 100% get it. I understand it. It makes sense. But with me, the only politic is, does it have substance? Is it something that I want to rock with? Now, I know that sounds kind of judgy, right? But this is also a quality thing that I don't want to just put because, the people at your job think that you're good. Doesn't necessarily mean. But I understand that, I'm no Lionel Richie, right? This ain't The Voice. This isn't American Got Talent, so I'm no professional judge or any means but necessary. But it is a platform that I've created that I take pride in because I want to make sure that people get a voice, people get seen as much as possible. So with GNSETV.com, all the content up there is content that either I've created or content that people I know have created, and I'm putting it up there. So the next one is going to be for the artists. Right now the playlist is, I call it the calm within the storm. So that's what I was saying earlier, where people watched it, they enjoy it. It's kind of like a decompression playlist where you're having a rough day, you put that bad boy on, there's soothing music, there's soothing scenery. I just uploaded a video in Pacifica, California. If anyone knows anything about Pacifica, California, it's literally on the Pacific, right? It's southwest of San Francisco on Highway 1. So it's of the ocean. You see the seagulls, you see the crow, you see the pigeons, you hear people walking by you. There's a video when I was in wine country, a couple videos in wine country. We had a hailstorm sometime back when it was raining, that season of the winter. There's a black screen where you hear just rain noise. So if you have sleep apnea or insomnia, or you have a hard time going to sleep, at least from my experience, those noises, those sounds, kind of like white noise or gray noise or green noise, or whatever color noise they have out there, right? It kind of aids with that as well. And I know there's people who have office jobs, you have your desk, your cubicle. You may not have a window, you may not have a view. The only view is when your head pops up and you look and see the other person next to you, right? Or you just got four walls around you. You can put this on your mobile phone, you can put this on your smart TV, you can put this on your computer, your laptop. And this can act as if your window. It can be your digital window. It can be as if you're looking outside. Turn the volume up, hear traffic driving on the road, you get a nice view of some vineyards. So it's just a little something that I've created to kind of give people somewhat of a peace of mind if we can. So I just want to elaborate on that just a little bit. So kind of just want to get the last thing I talked about, out of people's minds, which was, we're not going to mention about it. So moving on to the next one. There was a survey done about vacations, and the expectation of vacations are number one. And I believe I posted this up on social media. Again, for Twitter and Instagram, it's the same. You just go to the E.I.T.H.R, E.I.T.H.R. You will follow there. And when they were speaking about this, I kind of said the answer to myself, because I kind of just education guess, and I was basically spot on. As much of a gift it is, it also has become a curse. People are not having the same expectations when they go on vacations because of social media. Now, that is not to say it's a bad in a toxic way, but it's bad because people have this now expectation of what it's supposed to be like by looking at someone else's experience, right? You see people taking these pictures, which you're supposed to do when you're going on vacation. You see people in these videos and these posts and these moments and all that is natural, and you're supposed to do that. The problem is when people see your joy, they expect to have the same type replicated for themselves. So when they go, it's kind of like, where the party at? And when what they expect in their brain does not happen at the place you were at when you posted it, they're now disappointed. They now feel let down because it's like, oh man, I was hoping to have blah 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 and yada yada and see such and such, so and so. We have collectively, we have this expectation now of what we're supposed to get when we go someplace based on other people's experiences. And that's kind of where it backfires for a lot of people. They said 43% of people who took this particular survey said their expectations were never met. And listen, man, our imaginations can get a little wild, right? They can go a little crazy when we see something that we like, that we want, and that we crave. And then when you get it, it's kind of like, do something, right? Kind of like that one thing, poking whatever with a stick, like do something, excite me. So the gift is we see it, we know it exists, we want to take part in it. That's the beauty. The curse, you created your own hype in your brain for something you did not know. And that also goes in a negative sense, right? Because when we see things on social media, we see things, prime example, San Francisco, California. Whenever someone mentions San Francisco, California, the first thing they want to talk about, what does it smell like? Does it smell like poo? Is somebody peeing? Right? They have that expectation of the city. When someone talks about Oakland, California, oh my God, did you get shot at? Did somebody get shot? Is your window still? Here's the problem. Because we look at the world through social media collectively more so than before. And that's kind of how we communicate with the world more so than before. We tend to see the world in those photos, in those videos, in those reels. That's how we see it. And I try to explain to people, if you've never been there, you don't understand it. And those who've never been there are the ones who have the most boisterous opinion about what it's like to be there. And I try to tell people, what they're showing you, generally speaking, of San Francisco, for example, is one particular neighborhood. Now, that neighborhood happens to be closer to a highly congested area. Sure. It's a high traffic area. Sure. But that's not the whole city. They're showing you an area that's probably 3 to 6 blocks. And San Francisco streets, they're very narrow. Right? So So, depending on what street you go down, you'll cross 3 blocks within 45 seconds, if that, depending on jaywalkers, traffic, so on and so forth. But the city is 7 by 7, approximately. And everyone keeps focusing on 3 to 5 city blocks. That's it. Once you get out of that particular area, it's a different world. But you don't see that because that's not what generates the clicks on the websites. Oakland, they only show you specific neighborhoods. Oakland is 14 by 14, approximately. Or 15 by 15, approximately. So, they don't show you the quote-unquote safe parts of Oakland. And before anybody making a smart-ass comment on the podcast, yes, motherfucker, there is safe parts in Oakland. There are dangerous parts in Oakland. But you want to know something? There are dangerous parts in that gated community you probably wish you lived into. Okay? I've seen it. There's dangerous parts in Atherton. Name a spot in Florida that you think is safe. I guarantee you. Drive down somebody's driveway to make a U-turn. See how safe you are. Because that's a thing, right? But in the example I just gave about Florida, there's nice places in Florida. But whenever you hear Florida, man, you know it's somebody naked with a machete running out of a candy store. Or something weird, right? That's kind of the thing. So the expectation of people having the expectation people have of these cities is based on what we see, based on what we evolve, based on what we view, our experiences from social media. The best thing, and I suggest to people all the time, your comfort zone is where you do not grow. The best thing to do from experience, man, find you somebody that lives in the area that you know well and let them be your tour guide. Now, I'm not talking about someone who they don't get out either, because there's plenty of people who live in a city who is confined to certain neighborhoods within their city who don't get out of their area. They don't know shit about nothing either. They kind of just go off the same information you do. But get out and explore. It can be dangerous, but it can be so much fun. Like, dead ass serious, right? When you take, I remember when I was doing Uber, these guys was going to go see one of their friends who graduated from Stanford, and he had just bought a house, because you hear the conversation. He had just bought a house, so they're going over to kind of housewarming party type of thing, and they were from, I don't remember if it was Atherton or Palo Alto, but it was in that area. I can't remember where I picked them up. And we're driving, and we get into Fremont, and we take the exit, we turn right, we go into a little sloped hill, make a left, we get into the community, and one of the guys was like, wait, where are we? And his buddy was like, Fremont. And I kind of said, Fremont. It was almost like a feedback. Like, he said it, and I happened to say it right after him. And he was like, are you serious? And we're kind of like, yeah. He was like, okay, see, I've always thought Fremont was trash. And whenever someone talks about the Bay Area, especially the East Bay Area, I kind of look up at them, like, watch your mouth. You in my car, right? Because that's home. And so, the perception this person had about Fremont was based on probably what he saw from social media or stories he heard from social media. Fremont. Being that he was there himself and saw. So wait, I'm like, this is the Fremont Hills. You got the Fremont Hills, you got the Hayward Hills, you got the Oakland Hills, you got the Richmond, you got the Berkeley Hills, you got the Richmond Hills. They're all in the foothills right here. He was like, dude, like he was mesmerized, shocked. He was flabbergasted, as they say in the hood. So, the point is, we just need to get out of your comfort zone. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. Explore it. Try it out. It's fun. I damn near almost guarantee you. Just do it. And then you'll see your expectation will be different. And I try to tell people when I was doing Uber, going back to that example, you need to find someone who's from the Bay and have them take you around the Bay. And just, because there's so much to do. So when they would ask me, well, what is there to do in the East Bay? Because most folks who came, all they knew about was San Francisco, Napa, Facebook, and that was about Golden Gate Bridge. That was the 4 things about it. Then they swore LA was like 2 hours away from that. I'm like, no, you're way to fuck off. And I try to explain to people, anyone who knows this knows this. The Bay Area, think of it like Vegas. San Francisco is the Strip. Everybody goes to the Strip. The East Bay is where the locals go, quote unquote. Because the East Bay, you can find damn near the same kind of thing you can in San Francisco, but for like damn near a third of the price. Right? And you hop on a BART train, take an exit, take that exit, walk around, sightsee, get a feel, get a vibe, right? And kind of just do that, right? But like I said, you kind of want to get to know people. That way you get to comfortable from saying, right? Any neighborhood can be rough at night. I don't care where it is. I don't care where it is. You just have to mind your P's and Q's, stay on alert, go with someone who's familiar with the neighborhood. I'm going to beat that in your head verbally and experience it, right? Try something different. Try a different restaurant. And so when people would ask me, like, that's a very good question, because what I might like, you might not. Matter of fact, I may suggest a place to go to, and the bartender that I'm thinking about isn't working in that place. And you might get somebody who I don't deal with and have a bad experience. Now that looks bad on me. So you kind of got to go out and create your own adventure. That's what I tell people. Right? So, and I get in comfort in knowing, but that's where the expectation comes from. So you go out there with no expectation of anybody telling you what it isn't. You develop your own story, you create your own adventure. And so, I believe it was episode 102, maybe last one, 103, when I suggested to stay off your cell phone for X amount of time and have a conversation with your partner. Plan something. Just plan something. That's one thing with DoorDash and doing Uber I appreciate, because it was an adventure. I said this before, being from the East Bay area, I absolutely had no reason to cross that bridge to go to the city. No reason at all. I was like, what they got over there that ain't over here? So when I started doing Uber, I said, you know what? Take your ass across that bridge, learn something, and I found a street, the Visadero, and that was the street I predominantly kept my ass on, was the Visadero, until I got familiar with the cross street of the Visadero. Then I jumped from the Visadero over to Van Ness and got familiar with Van Ness and how Van Ness and Lombard cross. And I learned, okay, if I stay here, this takes me here. If I stay here, it takes me there. Got it. Okay, cool. Next street, Embarcadero. Okay, next street. And it took a couple of months to get familiar with San Francisco. But I got comfortable with the city. Okay, now let's try this side of the city. Same thing, rinse and repeat. And I was able to find my favorite Chinese spot in all of San Francisco. I found my favorite Chinese buffet in all of San Francisco. I found an Ethiopian spot in Berkeley. I found all kinds of different stuff, man. So get out of your comfort zone and create your own adventure. That way, your expectation to your vacation would always be met. So when you post the pictures and videos of everything, you can tell people, this is what we did, but we saw this place, we think this would be cool for you. Again, you can't control what anyone's going to enjoy or not enjoy. You can only control what you enjoy and avoid what you don't enjoy. But when you're going on vacation, the thing is to kind of let your hair down and do things you normally wouldn't do at home because you can't. So, even if it's a staycation, right, which I think is probably one of the most ridiculous things in the world, but I get it. I think what prices are, a staycation can probably be exactly what you need to, going to a different side of town or the city that you're from, that you normally would go to. Do that. Take a road trip, man. Pull out a map, old school map, right, fellas? Old school map, turn out a map quest, and just go. Just try to do yourself a favor and disconnect from the technology and just go old school with it and appreciate the moment more than trying to the dopamine, if that makes sense. Anyway, thank you guys for your time on the E.I.T.H.R podcast. Your boy D-Cal. Again, man, GNSETV.com, free subscription, sign up for that. I appreciate that. TikTok, the DNS Inc., THEGNSINC. Follow us there. The E.I.T.H.R podcast on Instagram and on Twitter. Damn it, I forgot this the whole time. 916-282-9372. That is the phone number. You can call, you can shoot us a text about anything you would like for us to talk about. Next episode is going to be Friday, where we do the What is Your Mile? That is, what is the obstacle that you have that you want to make easy? Last week it was about giving yourself a compliment. Mine fell short of mine. It was to give me a guest on the podcast today, but it's all good. It's all good. Because tomorrow's a new day, and again, a new Friday to make it up for us. So follow us, Instagram, Twitter. It's your boy, D-Cal, E.I.T.H.R podcast. You guys stay blessed, stay safe. We'll see you at episode 105.